Sega is often blamed for suddenly deciding to throw everything good going on with Sonic for a worse, newer take on the gameplay formula. It's something that happened to transition from the adventure formula to the boost formula, for example, especially since it came bundled with Werehog back then, and it was also set for Lost World reaching said boost formula if you remember. But see, Sega has always been a forward-thinking company. They didn't wait until that long to fuck up, they were already up to it before 3D Sonic was even a thing. So, what are we looking at? Well, see, we talked about Sonic CD last time, and that released on Mega CD, or Sega CD. The Mega Drive had another add-on, Big 32X, because it was 32 bits, that was a huge selling point back then. Now it's just a sign using a very old Windows program. Apparently it released in France, but while I saw some Mega CDs here, I never saw 32X with my own eyes. No prizes for guessing how I first played this game. And boy, this game, there sure are things to say about it. Let's start with the surface level stuff. This game looks pretty. I mean, obviously, right? If we got more brainpower inside that little console, they want to show it off. So they did. Knuckles Chaotix is a nice showcase for the 32X. But here's the problem about this. Knuckles Chaotix is just a showcase for the 32X. And trust me, it feels bad to play. Sonic 1 and CD I had so much beef with, but I managed to finish the games in one session, and I had an amount of fun with them. Now, at least it wasn't nil. I went through 60% of this mess across 2 sessions, and I just kinda gave up afterwards. But why did I give up? Good question, let's dig into the game proper. When the game starts, you get control of Knuckles and... he seems slow, the air physics are a bit wrong. Surely something better is cooking later on, but that's like a very bad first impression. The first second you get your hands on the controller, something feels off. Later you catch Eggman and Metal Sonic doing, I don't know, something. And you free SPO, Camille and Guy from a capsule, and oh, that's new. That's awful. This little piece of shit our two protagonists hold is a ring that tethers them together for the entire duration of the game. That's right, we've now got a shit ton of funny slingshot physics to handle. So much so, the game actually stops you for a tutorial when you first play the game. That's kind of jarring for a Mega Drive Sonic game. Now, when they show you all the moves you can pull with this thing, you might think to yourself, okay, they look like they give a lot of speed, but they're also very long to set up. I probably won't use them all the time. Oh, my sweet, sweet summer child. Did you know Sonic level geometry wasn't built for you to be constantly dragged down by the ankles? Springs almost never work, cause while you ascend, your partner still is below and will drag you down. The spin dash barely carries any momentum, and certainly not enough for 2 people to traverse these slopes. They still put everywhere. And don't you dare go too fast, walls might stop being solid if you do. Seriously, it confuses me to still added those classic Sonic gameplay and stage elements, because not only they just don't work within Chaotix, they also end up being more faulty versions of other things Chaotix introduces. Setting up a slingshot is basically the solution to every situation that used to require your spin dash to get out of before. And why is there so much springs? Well, almost every character has an upwards movement ability. I mean it, let's list them. Knuckles still has his wall climb from S3K. SPO, he can cling to walls and move up and down. Mighty has a wall kick you can angle in any direction, including straight upwards, so it just becomes a fast wall climb. Charmy literally flies, and Vector just plucking hair dashes and climb walls. All of these characters can climb up walls, most of them way faster than Knuckles in S3K. Most of them faster than Knuckles in the same game. But nope, since the level design is extremely vertical, they felt the need to add springs. Or maybe it was for those pieces of shit you can have instead of actual characters. So another great idea this game has is making you pick your character at random in a crane game. You can have any of the 4 characters you're not playing as, or 2 robots that basically you work as a permanent debuff until you finish a level and thus are allowed to try and pick again. Heavy has a fat ass and will make every single piece of the level more annoying to traverse, while Bomb will explode if he's damaged, meaning you'll probably also get damaged in the process. Really, who the fuck saw Tails' AI in Sonic 2 and 3 thought, yeah, that needs to be permanently tied to you, and blow up? And don't think you can just play one of the easier levels when you have those 2 dumb fucks as your partner. The level selection also is random. Wouldn't be a problem by itself. The fact there's only 5 zones also wouldn't be a problem if every zone had a reasonable amount of acts. 5 acts? Are you insane? Sonic 3 mastered 2D Sonic pace. 1 act, 1 mini-boss. 1 act, 1 boss, and boom, next zone. Even CD took the Sonic 1 approach of 2 acts and the third one for the boss. This is way too much. Seriously, you can play like more than 10 levels and not clear a single zone. That's infuriating. especially because the acts kinda have nothing going on. As said before, they're very vertical but also strangely large at times, and most of them are devoid of any badniks. The enemies are few and far between, which kinda makes sense because, well, otherwise it'd be hell to try and kill lots of enemies in this setup. But also it means the level just feel empty as shit. Honestly, the special stages might be the best part of the game. It's a bit of mix of Sonic 2's and Sonic 3's. You're tasked with collecting a number of blue spheres in a full level, but in 3D. It starts off easy, but soon enough you have to use bumpers to time your jumps, gotta watch out for some tricky platforming, etc. Those are actually fun, and honestly I take a full game of these instead of the actual thing we got. The more I think about it, the more Knuckles Chaotix really does feel like foreshadowing for the rest of the series. Too many characters, probably implement all of them, check. Forgettable levels and repeated environment, checks. Sega is just puzzling to me sometimes, because sometimes they listen to feedback and take it way too far, and other times they just don't fucking learn their lessons. Go figure. There are bosses in this game. They sure are. Didn't do them because after an hour and a half I still didn't get the chance to finish a single zone. But sure, little Sonic has a cool form at least. Honorable mention to the game's soundtrack at least. Some of them have this smooth, sweet vibe to them I really love. Sonic OSTs are nothing to sneeze at, but the Chaotix has his own distinctive vibe and I think it's really neat. It's the kind of tracks that has jump scared me a lot growing up because someone that didn't fuck with Sonic at all would use music from that game in their videos and I'd be like, hold up, I recognize that. Give it a listen if you can, especially if you loved what you heard from this video. Yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I'm cutting it shorter than usual. I don't even find this game interesting as a novelty to dissect. Some people did it. Mr. Apologies of the Games did it if you want someone to take a fair shot at this game. I cannot. I have too little fun and the game breaks too much in my hands for me to ever have some kind of benevolence towards it. But hey, let's do our usual little thing at least. Should you play this game? No! At least if you want to play good Sonic games, no. If you're interested about it from a historical point of view, or just like dumpster fires in general, sure though, be my guest. Which version should you play? So sorry homeboy, you're gonna need an emulator. Sega doesn't really care enough about this game, neither should you. They'll probably re-release it anywhere, so it's pretty much your only option. And where would I rank it on the tier list? A big fat F. Seriously, as a kid, I probably would have gave these a B or C. But I already thought it kinda sucked ass. I finished it back then, multiple times, and I found some fun in it. Not anymore. God, not making a joke to finish this one. Next up is Sonic Adventure. God bless. See you there, folks.